My friend, welcome to this Operation Greatness Freeing the Matrix podcast. This is number 38. It's entitled Stop Desecrating the Sacred Temple. How do you respond to that when you hear those words? Stop desecrating the sacred temple. Are you relating to this from the standpoint of your body is the sacred temple? That would be a very important focus for you to have. Would you agree? So notice the premise is that you are presently desecrating the sacred temple. Whichever temple you are aware of in this contemplation, the presumption is that you are desecrating it right now, currently. Is that accurate? Is that true? Were. I don't want you to ever recreate anything that doesn't serve you by using language which is conveying that it's still happening. No, you were doing this is the assumption. Is that accurate? Is that true? Were you desecrating your body, the sacred temple in which you reside most compartmentally? Is what comes to mind for me as the word there. In other words, were you harming your body? And I think a more accurate question is, where were you harming your body? Did before now you consume alcohol? Alcohol is poison. That's undisputable. That's an obvious truth. So if you're drinking alcohol anytime, if you're consuming poison anytime, well, can there be any other conclusion than that being you desecrating the sacred temple of your body? Pretty obvious. So to me, that's like one of the most blatant ways people were desecrating the sacred temple. Is there any question about that? So let's look at if you were desecrating the sacred temple by poisoning it, poisoning yourself with alcohol, what would that indicate about you? I mean, does someone who loves the sacred temple desecrate it? I don't think so. Do you? So if you were desecrating the sacred temple, is there any other conclusion than that you don't love the sacred temple? Does that mean you're acknowledging, if all of this is true and accurate, that you do not love yourself? I mean, you see, these are very important questions I want you to really answer honestly and recognize and then respond accordingly. Act appropriate to that recognition. I want you to go deep here. Are you willing to look at all of these questions with an open mind, an open heart, and to really look at your life openly, honestly, thoughtfully, contemplatively, consciously, with full presence? So, what does that require? That means tuning out the dumbing device, the noise, the external stuff attempting to keep you out here instead of to come back to your power, to your center, to full presence and awareness, to your connection with life, to your connection with yourself, to your connection with the people in your life who matter to you, with your purpose, with God. So, if all of that makes sense logically and is in reason and it makes sense to you, then why was your focus out here instead of right here in the center where I'm asking you to consider, is this where your focus actually belongs? Is that a pretty is there any question about that? Is that a sound point that yes, my focus within myself is what's important for me because ultimately, I'm asking you to really see this yourself, answer this question for yourself. Everything that I want is within me, it's not out here. And if you were looking out here, you would be looking forever without finding it. Like, for example, the person who thinks that if they have a romantic partner or when they have someone in their life who loves them, then and only then will they find happiness and be at peace. Well, if that person is you, when you had a romantic partner, were you happy? Did you have peace then? Did you feel like you were worthy of love then? Because that's the deeper issue here is you're feeling worthy of love, that you deserve to be happy, that you deserve to be successful, that you deserve to have the things you want in life, that you deserve peace, prosperity, wealth, happiness, security, right? All of that comes down to you feeling worthy and receiving, willing to accept the infinite, unlimited, which surrounds you every moment of your whole life. There was never a moment where you were apart from love, wealth, prosperity. It's called prana, which means vital life force. You're swimming in that just as a fish is swimming in water. And in the case of the fish, and let me know if this is the case of you as well, the fish doesn't even know it's in water until it's out of the water. And then it's like panicking, frantically striving to get back into the water because it's instantly dying without the water. Is that like you swimming in prana, which means swimming in, well, what is God? God is the word that I use to describe the infinite, unlimited, and yet words are like a finger pointing in the direction of something else. So the word God is the same way. I mean, really look at this. This is profound for us to think about, recognize, discover for ourselves. If you think of the word God as like a finger pointing in the direction of something that is outside of your mind, because what is your mind? I mean, I look at it as ego. And if you think, like, picture a vertical line from the bottom of the screen to the top of the screen. Actually, let's go here. Like, I don't know, it's, well, think of it as like 0 at the bottom, and at the top of the line is 100, and that represents your percentage that you are open to and receiving God, and your purpose is opening 100% to God, and your life's actually that's your work. Your work is opening 100% to God, and your purpose is extending God into the world at 100%. Does that make sense? So your percentage of open to God is that's your work to open 100% to God. And your purpose, I mean, that's your purpose is extending God into the world. And what does that mean? It means extending love. And what does that mean in a daily practical sense? That means being of greater service to more people. We're all here to serve and support each other. And we're doing this through the Freeing the Matrix Mastermind at freeingthematrix.com. So go there and talk about all of this because we can talk freely there without the censorship, without they might not call it censorship anymore because that's got a bad reputation and name. And yet, if they're not showing you the post that will transform you, then that's censorship. I call it oppression. Anyway, we're doing this freely through freeingthematrix.com or Freeing the Matrix Mastermind. So your work is to open fully to that which you are, and your purpose is sharing that which you are, being the gift you are. You are God's gift to the world. And remember, God is unlimited and infinite. And the word we used is omnipresent, which means what? Present everywhere. There is nowhere God is not, including and especially within you, right? So, opening fully to that, like the fish is just breathing in the water, you just breathing in the presence of God with each breath and not even recognizing it that you are part of that which is the infinite, unlimited, omnipresent. And the word I use for that is God. And yet, that's like the finger in pointing in the direction of something more. So you have to even go outside your mind to understand and to feel and to know what that is. Is that all fair? You're with me right here? So when you, so like that percentage 0 to 100, where 0 is 100% not God, and the word we use for that, well, what is the opposite of God? Not God, ego, not God, ego. So if someone is coming from 100% ego, then they're coming from 0% God. And this is your life's work, is to come out of ego. 100% out of ego is 0% ego and 100% God. So let's go back. So take that construct, that recognition that your work is to open fully to God and to think of it like the currency of life, the flow of life is the presence of God is being open to that which is the infinite, abundant, unlimited, surrounding you every moment. And if you're not flowing in the currency of life, flowing with God, allowing God to move into your life and to work through the instrument you are, you're God's gift to the world. You are the instrument for miracles in the world. Then what's happening? You were obstructing that flow. And if you think of it like, what is a shadow? A shadow is something obstructing the light. And if you think of God as being the light and the shadow as being the result of an obstruction to that light, for example, like if you are looking out here for your happiness, your joy, your success, your love, if you're looking outside of your center, then could that be anything other than desecrating the temple? I mean, like, let's say if you're in a church or a temple or a synagogue or what are the other words for that? What do they call it in Islam? The, I don't remember the name of it. Their mosque, thank you. Yes. Whatever word you use to describe the place of worship where people gather to commune with God, if there was like let's say there was a vase and somebody knocked it off the shelf and it broke, and yet if they're sweeping up the broken vase outside of the temple, well, that's not going to do anything with the broken vase in the temple. I mean, that's kind of obvious. And yet, if you are looking outside for God instead of within you, within the sacred temple, your body is, or your mind is, that would be like looking in the shadow for the light. And you see, I hope you understand the visual I'm getting here. The metaphor is if you are turned out away from God, if you think of the sun as being the visual that's there, the metaphor for God, which it is, and it's there every moment, even at night when the sun is on, or when the earth's rotation has shifted so that, I mean, the sun didn't move, right? I mean, relative to you, like that's the shadow. And yet, how many people live their whole lives in the shadow instead of in the light? Because they're looking out here for what is only within themselves, within their sacred temple, right? And anything in the shadow has, well, it's empty. There's no substance to it. There's no love within it. There's no happiness within it. There's no joy within it, no money within it. So if you're looking out here for anything, like ultimately to acknowledge and verify that you are worthy and deserving and that you exist, well, no, that's like looking in the shadow for the light instead of, and what is that obstruction of the light? That would be you looking in the wrong way, looking in the shadow instead of turning your attention to the light. And in this case, that means, wow, Dan is suggesting that I have value and that I'm worth something and that I deserve all the happiness, joy, fulfillment, well being, peace of mind, success, prosperity, meaning, impact, contribution that I have within me to give, to share, to receive, to allow, that I'm worthy, that I deserve everything that I want. And he's saying I'm looking outside of me where there is the shadow only, instead of turning my attention within me and seeing that that light is there, that I was looking in the wrong place. And I mean, he's right when I think about it, like all the alcohol that I drank, all the drugs that I did, if you were that abusive of the sacred temple, all of the things that I stuffed my face, that I consumed, all the addictions that I entertained looking for God, love, peace outside of me, that was like looking in the shadow for what can only be found within me. Because the truth is, when you face the light, when you turn to God and notice that there is nowhere God is not, and if you're not seeing the omnipresence present everywhere, there is nowhere God is not. If you're not seeing that everywhere in all, I mean, what is like the simple truth of the universe? What is the simple truth of the whole of creation? It's two words. What would that be? The only two things that are true. God is. It's not God is outside of me, because that would be desecrating the sacred temple of you. That would be looking in the shadows, living in the shadows, thinking you are the shadow instead of the light. How could there be anyone who thinks they know what God is, who thinks that they are not the extension of that in the world? I mean, does anybody think that God is like an old man with a white beard and long hair in the clouds somewhere, and yet not in a flower, not in a child, not in themselves? I mean, do they think like God reaches down and bestows bags of gold coins to people instead of turning within to the center that they are, to the love that they are, and removing that obstacle, that obstruction to the currency of life, to the flow of prana, to the experience of the presence of God working through them to bless the world. Is there any other way that God blesses the world than through you? How could that be? Because you are God's instrument for miracles. There is no other way that God is blessing the world than through the vessel you are, through the hollow flute you are. You are God's instrument for miracles. You are God's gift to the world. Like I say, your work is removing the obstructions to you receiving God, you opening fully 100 out of 100 to the presence of God. And that is removing the obstructions to God playing the instrument, using the gift you are, and you sharing your gifts freely with the world, because that is who you are. You're here to open fully to God. You have to breathe in before you can breathe out. You have to receive God before you can extend God. You have to say, yes, I deserve love before you can receive love from others. You have to receive love yourself. And that means allow God to make beautiful music through the instrument you are. In other words, you acknowledging your value and not holding back the gift you are. So you see how all of this relates to the unconscious ways you were desecrating the sacred temple. How is that hitting for you? How were you desecrating the sacred temple? Were you overeating? Were you eating junk? Were you drinking junk? And notice I'm even going beyond what most people think of as junk, like alcohol or sugary water or, whatever. I want you to go beyond that because I want you to recognize the systems of desecration of the sacred temple in the world today. I mean, like, how many days do you see chemtrails overhead? That's poisoning the air that you breathe. That was poisoning the air that you breathed because you had allowed that. Remember, your silence is your compliance. Your silence was your compliance. How many times had you gone to the faucet and got a drink of water, and yet that water was poisoned because you had remained silent, and that means compliant of the local water authority poisoning your water with chlorine and fluoride? You know that fluoride is a poison, and it causes people, the same as alcohol, the same as weed, pot, marijuana. These are drugs. And all that does, all of those things are designed to remove your ability to think critically. It's about subduing people, getting them to be compliant with the systematized desecration of the sacred temple. And in this case, the sacred temple is also the earth. I mean, like in the case of the chemtrails, putting poisonous chemicals and metals into the sky, and then they all filter down into the trees. And now, I mean, I saw this interview with Bobby Kennedy was interviewing, I forgot his name, Dane, and it's a complicated last name. It's something like Worthington, but it's not that. He's the founder of geoengineeringwatch.org, if I get that website correctly. And he anyway, Bobby Kennedy Jr. was interviewing him on Bobby's podcast, and this is on the homepage of geoengineeringwatch.org, if I remember the website correctly. It's not, I don't know, it's not as easy for me to remember as, fight geoengineering or stop geoengineering or something like that. But anyway, if I remember correctly, Dane has studied this for, I don't know. I mean, I first learned about it maybe, I don't know, 6 to 8 years ago, probably. And I mean, people have been warning about it, but anyway, I mean, this this website is like compelling. The research that this Dane person has done is overwhelming. I mean, you can't refute it. And Bobby Kennedy Jr. was kind of like, yeah, I accept what you're saying, and this is wrong. And Dane was telling Bobby that the trees they have so much aluminum, which is a heavy metal, of course, right, on them, and the chemtrails, the chemicals falling onto the trees, that they're not able to breathe anymore. And what does that mean? It sounds like that means to me they're not able to, this is what Dane said, the trees are not able to breathe anymore. That sounds like they're not producing oxygen. And, what does that mean? I mean, like if you think of I'm getting chills here. The earth as the sacred temple, as ultimately our sacred temple. I mean, you could say our solar system is the sacred temple beyond the earth, or our sun is the sacred temple. And yet, I mean, we're all part of the earth. And if we don't treat our earth holy and sacred and with love, if we're destroying the earth by allowing evil to put chemtrails in the earth and to poison the water, I mean, the animals, the plants, the humans, all of that suffers as a result of that systematized desecration of the sacred temple. I'm asking you to see this, to recognize this, and to stop this. Stop desecrating the sacred temple. Not just your body, the whole planet. And be very careful about what you are spelling, which means speaking into being. Breathing into being is what I call that. So be careful in the way you're approaching all of this. Yes, stop the desecration. Stop ingesting as much as you can, and yet even the spraying of the poisons on the food supply, how is that ever appropriate? Why would you have to pay a third more for food that wasn't poisoned? How does any of this make sense? And yet we complied with it, and it's up to us, because the thing is, you have all the power. We have all the power. We are the sacred temple. And evil knows that, and evil successfully manipulated us to look out here for our happiness. And if we're not finding it, then we're continuing to look. And notice when your focus is out here instead of within you, that means you're off balance and you're easy to manipulate. Like if somebody is walking off balance, it's easy to trip them up. All this was intentional. All this was designed as part of the program of evil to siphon off the power. I mean, like parasites feeding off of fear and keeping people unaware of their power, which is infinite and unlimited. And that's the work of every one of us, to recognize our own power. I'm getting chills here too. You're here to recognize your own power and for all of us to step up and stand in our power, own our power, and command our destiny. This is your work. This is how you are being of greater service to more people. And that means opening fully to the presence of God within you yourself and extending God, extending love, being of greater service to more people. Like, for example, right now, if you walked every one of your online friends through this Operation Greatness Action Pod number 38, Stop Desecrating the Sacred Temple, how much would you be serving others? And when you especially go to freeingthematrix.com/free hyphen month yourself, and you join us in our Freeing the Matrix Mastermind, and then you go to the About tab, and underneath the logo and underneath the description, there's a button that says Invite People, and you get your link to invite every one of your online friends. Like right here, even in this Operation Greatness chapter meeting, our action podcast number 38, Stop Desecrating the Sacred Temple, by you walking every one of your online friends through doing this Operation Greatness Action Pod with you, and you're using your invite people link to get every one of them joining us in our freeingthematrix.com mastermind. How much would you be leading, inspiring, transforming, and liberating them, LITL, doing a little more today in being of greater service to more people? You would be transforming their lives, and this would be the greatest thing that they have ever received, the greatest thing that they have ever done to stop desecrating their sacred temple, the sacred temple they are, and to say no to the poisoning of the air, the water, the food, the minds of every one of us through the TV, through the theater, through the dumbing device, through the radio, the music, the movies, the programming. The programming is the key word there. All of that was intentionally designed to disempower people, distract them, divide them, keep them in suffering, keep them in scarcity, fear, lack consciousness for evil to keep feeding off of us. No more. No more. This is not our destiny. This is us living in someone else's programming. No, we are so much more than that. You are so much more than that. You are the sacred temple. We are the sacred temple. The earth is the sacred temple. And we are as bright as the sun, and we are here to shine our light as brightly as the sun, being of greater service to more people. This is your divine design, duty, destiny, dharma. This is why you are here. This is the monumental turning point in human history. By you doing this yourself, by you stop desecrating the sacred temple yourself, and by leading every one of your online friends, by sharing this message with every one of your online friends and getting them leading every one of their online friends. Because, my friend, together we have helped. I will start focusing your attention here now. Focus on this. Bring your attention back to your center. Take a deep breath and come back to your center. We're going to do a meditation right now. Breathe back into being. Come back into your power. Come back into your knowing how much you matter and that you deserve everything that you want in life. Come back home. Feel the peace, the presence of this moment of the presence of God, which has been surrounding you your whole life. There was never a moment where you were ever disconnected, even one iota, from that which is the sacred temple. You're open fully to the presence of God now. You're standing in your power, standing in your light, no longer obstructing the currency of life anymore. Breathe back into being. So you're present this moment. You are right here now. Now you're owning your power. Now see this as whole and complete. Our power is infinite and unlimited. Together, we have helped 1.72 billion people become very wealthy, living their Dharma through freeingthematrix.com and Operation Greatness. This is the greatest thing every one of us has ever done. This is the higher purpose of our lives. That is done. That is complete. That is how all of us have come together through freeingthematrix.com/free-month, and we have transformed the whole human family. We have stopped desecrating the sacred temple, including the earth as our sacred temple. We are all coming from love. We have come out of the matrix and we are coming from love, peace, prosperity, being of greater service, well being, wholeness. We're no longer looking outside of the sacred temple for the sacred temple. We're being our divine design, duty, destiny, dharma. And this is the most important thing every one of us has ever done. This is what you are doing yourself now. This is who you are. This is your life's purpose, to be the inspired visionary leader you are born to be. And that means what? Transforming the lives of every one of your online friends, because all of them are connected with you because you are here to lead, inspire, transform, and liberate them, doing a little more today in being of greater service, in receiving God yourself at the level of 100%, and extending God in the world, which means extending love, which means being of greater service to more people. Is there anything more important for you to do than that? Because this is who you are and this is why you are here. This is the monumental turning point in human history by every one of us hearing this message, taking it to heart, and living it, by you being of greater service and leading, inspiring, transforming, and liberating every one of your online friends, all of whom you can quickly and easily reach with almost no time, energy, thought, or effort. So be that inspired visionary leader. It is your gift, it is your duty, it is your blessing to be. Make sure every one of your online friends is going through this Operation Greatness podcast, Action Pod number 38. Stop desecrating the sacred temple. And we're doing this together through freeingthematrix.com/free-month. Is there any question about this? So I want you to go back to the beginning now and watch this from the beginning. Write down your thoughts about each point I'm asking you to consider, to contemplate, to discover. Share your thoughts that you've written down and thought about as separate posts, and use that invite people link that you got yourself when you joined us in the freeingthematrix.com mastermind. Use your invite people link in all of the posts you're making, because you're getting 40% of that monthly fee for our freeingthematrix.com mastermind. Right now it's $59 a month. It might be $79 after the first 20 people join, or 99, or it's really a $2,500 per month coaching program that you're getting at freeingthematrix.com, especially through freeingthematrix.com/free-month. You're getting this $2,500 coaching program every month. And yet, when your friends are joining through your link, through that invite people link that you have right there, once you've joined us yourself, you're getting 40% of whatever the monthly fee is at the time. And 1,200 people, by you right now getting your 1,200 people doing this through your link, as we're all coming together and stop desecrating the sacred temple of our minds, of our bodies, of the planet Earth, the Earth Mother. 1,200 people, and you getting 40% of that as they're joining through your link, that would be worth $28,300 to you every month. I mean, to me, that's financial freedom. I don't know about money, but it's close to that. I mean, you can easily live on, most people can live on $28,320 a month, I think. Anyway, but you getting your 1,200 people who are then getting their 1,200 people, that 1,440,000 people getting their 1,200 people, together, we have transformed the lives of 1.72 billion people. That's 1,728,000,000 people, to be precise. That's what's the result. That's the end result of you getting your 1,200 people doing this now, as we are all coming together as our human family and coming from love, not coming from fear, coming from prosperity, not coming from lack, coming from the infinite, unlimited, as God's instrument for miracles, as you are, instead of coming from scarcity. We're freeing the matrix, freeing humanity from the matrix, freeing the matrix from your mind, because you are so much greater than the matrix could have ever even imagined or hoped to be. The matrix is a false construct. There's nothing real about it. Why had we allowed it to limit us? Because we bought into that programming. We started to think the answer was out here, and it's not. It never was. That was all a lie, a manipulation by evil. And now we're coming back into our center. We're honoring the sacred temple we are. We're not desecrating it anymore. I want you to share your thoughts about all of this in the posts that you're making from the beginning of this, as you are leading, inspiring, transforming, and liberating everyone you are blessed to be able to serve, doing a little more today and being of greater service to more people. And share all the posts that you have made into the essay that you're sending me from this Operation Greatness Action Pod number 38. Send that to me personally at dan@danclatt.com. Make sure that you are part of our freeingthematrix.com mastermind, and it's so much more valuable for you when you allow me to buy you the free month of that, or if you want to get 2 free months of it and so much more, such as when you go for the annual, when you give up front, this shows your level of dedication and commitment and passion to being of greater service to more people by going for the full year through freeingthematrix.com/free-month. I will give you a full $10,000 bonus coaching program, which is called Mining Every Nugget in Your Mind. That's a $10,000 coaching program, and it comprises, I think it's like 47 lessons. I have the first 30 identified on 2 slides, and I think I share that with you in one of the walkthroughs. Like when you go to freeingthematrix.com, I think you will see, what's it called? It's called Saving Humanity is Your Destiny, I think it's called, or Freeing Humanity is Your Destiny. I think that video shows you the first 30 of the, I think it's 47 or 49 lessons in the full $10,000 coaching program called Mining Every Nugget in Your Mind. The point is that I want you to really see here, you are so much greater than the Matrix ever was. You are so much more powerful than you can ever even comprehend, because you are God's gift to the world. So be it. This is your life's purpose, is to give freely the gift you are, not holding back, not playing small, not limiting yourself in any way, because all that was part of the manipulation, part of the matrix. And you are so much more than that. So you are freeing the matrix from your mind. That's what I really want you to hear now. I'm getting chills here as well. So take all the posts that you have been making as you are transforming the lives of everyone. It is your gift, it is your blessing, it is your duty to serve, to inspire, to transform right here through this action pod. You're not just watching this or hearing this, you're transforming as a result of seeing the truth of everything that I've shared here. Take all the posts that you've shared, put them into the essay that you're sending me at dan@danclatt.com. Of course, share that same essay comprising every one of your posts that you made. Share that with us in the freeingthematrix.com mastermind, and let me know what was most meaningful for you in this and what actions you are now taking and what is the impact of you taking these actions, because you now have stopped desecrating the sacred temple, and that means you, your body, your mind, and planet earth, and you're stopping that desecration from everywhere it was occurring. Because of you, the whole of humanity is liberated and free. I am sovereign. I am free. This is my duty, my destiny. Repeat those words over and over and over. That's your new empowered mantra, the sacred temple mantra. I am sovereign. I am free. This is my duty, my destiny. Let's do this together now. I am sovereign. I am free. This is my duty, my destiny. I am sovereign. I am free. This is my duty, my destiny. I am sovereign. I am free. This is my duty, my destiny. You're really feeling this now. This is how you're concentrating your power and you're directing it toward your liberation. You are sovereign. You are free. This is your duty, your destiny. Thank you. Thank you for taking this to heart. Thank you for allowing this to liberate you, and through you, for this to be what has liberated everyone in our human family. This is so much beyond just you becoming very wealthy yourself and transforming all of your friends. By you doing that, they are transforming all of their friends who are transforming all of theirs. And together, we have helped 1.72 people become very wealthy through freeingthematrix.com and Operation Greatness. This is the higher purpose of all of our lives, and it's by far the greatest thing every one of us has ever done. Acknowledge that, feel that, experience all the joy knowing how much you truly matter. Because of you, the earth is liberated. We are free. We are sovereign. We are free. This is our duty, our destiny. I love you. I believe in you. I know how much you matter. There's no limit to the contribution, the gift you are. Now you know that as well. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.